My name is Michael Dana. In 2008, I was diagnosed with a rare brain cancer, and after 6 years, I was cancer-free. But the ordeal left me changed, with a different outlook on life and a new sense of priorities. While still recovering, I earned a degree in economics from UNC Chapel Hill. My studies taught me to analyze data and open my mind to see things differently. I also started formal training in the martial arts to better defend myself and use it as a means of extreme physical therapy. Since then, I've obtained black belts in 3 martial arts. I own and run a martial arts school and have logged over 51 teaching hours. To my friends and family, I'm a simple business owner. But to the martial arts world, I'm something else. I am Sifu Mike, and this is Dragon Theory.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. I'm going to talk to you about repetition, about repeating yourself, because you are not doing enough. Okay, you're not doing as much as you can, as much as you should, right? Because repetition totally matters, especially in martial arts, right? It is very, very much emphasized and talked about a whole lot as far as its importance. But the key word in that sentence is talk, okay? They talk about it. Don't necessarily have you doing it though. That's why I'm making this video, because you need to do it, okay? Almost every skill is made better with repetition, especially if it's a physical skill, okay? You've heard it before, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it, that kind of deal. That is very true, right? Especially if you have something that is a short-term memory and you want it to be a long-term memory. Doing it a lot of times will actually help reinforce that and get into your brain, right, so that you can keep doing it over and over and over again later on and never actually forgetting it, okay? I tell people all the time, the moment you stop trying to get better is the moment you start getting worse, okay? So even if you think you have it, do it again, right? You can never have enough of the basics. In fact, the more complicated stuff is just complicated versions of the basics, right? So you can always be doing that. You always should be doing that. You shouldn't be told to do that, okay? And so the example that I like to use a lot of times is weightlifting, okay? That's because a lot of people know it. Now I want you to think that your body is inherently lazy. Now I've said this before, man, your body's mostly water, okay? Water wants to be lazy. It takes the path of least resistance, okay? All the molecules in the universe are veering towards doing nothing because of entropy and all that kind of sciencey stuff like that. Basically, your body wants to do nothing, alright? So, when you are weightlifting, say you're doing curls, right? 20 or 40 pounds, whatever, let's go with 20, right? Just like one arm, boom, 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 boom. Arm gets sore, okay? It's just your body's way of complaining and saying, whining, don't do this anymore. This is hard, this sucks, right? And your brain is like, no. This is the new normal. We're going to keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing this. And then your body's like, all right, fine. Obviously, I'm not going to win this battle, so I'm going to adapt and make it easier for me to do the same lift, okay, with that 20 pounds. Now, once my brain's like, oh, this is easy, okay, I'm going to add to it. I'm going to make it heavier. I'm going to add more resistance, more weight. Then your body's like, what? We just did this. Now it's like hard again. Alright, so they have to adapt, alright? So that's how weightlifting basically works. It's just adding place as you progress, as your body adapts to the weight that you have, because it wants to work less to do the same thing, right? Totally doesn't work in the opposite direction. Once you stop, the body's like, we're done, man, right? It's just, as soon as it ends, you start to lose the gains, right? They start to go away, and it could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. It's amazing how quickly you can lose the gains that you worked so hard to put back on, okay? So repetition is a big deal as far as that is concerned, all right? Your body wants to do something that your brain does not. So you have to force it to keep going, to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And if you get bored, then do the same thing in a different way, right? There's many different ways to do the same thing, okay? The human body can only move in so many different ways, so you can always find a different way of doing the same thing, and your body doesn't know the difference, okay? your brain does. All right, that's a big thing. So when we're talking about repetition, right, and I've heard this from a lot of people, and it kind of bugs me. And it's a really famous Bruce Lee quote of like, I'm not afraid of the person with like 10,000 kicks. I'm afraid of the one guy who has one kick that he does like 10,000 times. Okay, and that is very true. There's nothing wrong about that particular statement. The thing is, you got to put it into context. You got to update it. All right, modern technology and stuff like that. Right. So, doing a little bit of math. Okay, hypothetically, if you can do like 50 kicks in a minute, so in 2 minutes you can do 100 kicks. You do that 3 days in a week, then you've done 300 kicks in a week. At that rate, you can do 10,000 kicks in less than 9 months. Alright, so in less than 9 months, you can do that. Now, if you have 10 kicks instead of 1 kick, and you can have that same rate for all the other kicks, then you do your 10 kicks, right? Takes 2 minutes for each one, right? That's 20 minutes, that's your warm up. At the end of 9 months, you have done 10 kicks 10,000 times, alright? Okay, that's less than a year, dude. And so you apply that to all your other techniques, and you can just rep these things out. But instead, you go to most classes and they just tell you, rep these things out. Okay, well, most places, like most people, they only have a certain amount of time in the day, right? And they only have a certain amount of time in a week. They're there to do martial arts. They're not there to find out that they have to do martial arts at home, okay? A lot of people can't do that. If you can do a whole bunch of reps at home, I suggest you go to thedragonmethod.com. That's my website where I've got a lot of video tutorials that show you the techniques that you can then do all the time at home, right? If you don't have access to a martial arts school, or you just don't like any of the schools in your area, you can't go to one because of, other things happening in the world. But there's that resource if you're able to do stuff all the time, because that's the thing. You have to do repetition, rinse and repeat. Get it locked into your brain and just keep doing it, right? That's how you get good at something. Anything, right? I almost question the expertise of some teachers when I find out that they don't actually teach that much. So I'm kind of like, that's a skill that you're just not doing. You're supposedly really good at it. Now, there's a lot of people that are really good at doing because they get a lot of reps into doing. I'm not discounting that at all. Those guys are amazing. All right? Teaching is a different skill, and I covered that in a different video. Okay? But it's all about repetition. You are paying a person to teach you how to do something, and then you need to do it over and over and over and over, and it's their job to make sure that you do it over and over again, right, in that class, because you may not have the time outside of class. Okay, so it's a very big thing, and a lot of instructors are judged by the quality of the students that they turn out, right? So it is in my best interest to make sure that people that I'm teaching can do this thing really well. So I'm having to do them. I'm like, hey, I got a timer, right? You're going to kick that bag. You're going to do this thing, do this thing, do this thing. And it just keeps going. Lots and lots of repetition. All right, so it's a big thing, okay? Repeating. So you can totally do things way more than you're already doing. And if you go to a school and you find that you have an instructor who likes the sound of their own voice, because trust me, we all do. Alright, that's why I made a YouTube channel, man. I love the sound of my own voice. I love hearing me talk. I watch my videos more than anybody else does, mainly because I gotta edit them, right? But I am my biggest fan, okay? After me is like my mom, right? Hi, Mom. So yeah, you have people who like to talk, and that's like 2 minutes that they talk about this thing that you should be doing, right? When it only takes them 30 seconds to talk about it, and then you can spend the other minute and a half doing that technique. That's how you're going to get good at it. You may not get good at it at first, right? Hardly anybody is good at something the first time they do it, but through repetition, you're going to get good at it, right? That's how a lot of skills work, especially because you're reinforcing it and getting it in your brain, right? Remember, body inherently wants to be lazy. You got to mentally be like, no, doing this. This is a new normal. Keep repping it. Keep going, repetition, and you can do a lot. All right, do not limit yourself. Okay, and if you don't have, like I said, if you don't have access to a gym, if you can do this stuff at home, go to my website, dragonmethod.com. Right, thedragonmethod.com. A lot of videos there for you to be able to see how to do stuff. All right, and I also have a YouTube channel. I got stuff on there. I got like over 200 some odd videos. That's tkfmma. And then if you go to my website, tkfmma.com, I got descriptions of all my classes that I teach, where I do lots of repetition, lots of reps, man. And I also have a Facebook page, Twitter account, Instagram account. They're all TKFMMA. See, there's a trend, right? So TKFMMA and thedragonmethod.com, and rinse, repeat, do a lot. All right, that's what we're going for, man. Doing a whole bunch. All right, so make sure you watch my videos over and over and over and over again, right? And keep repping stuff out, man. Hope you learned something, and you guys have a good one. All right, bye.